Which type of communication with your dog is most effective? Have you ever wondered if spoken words or visual cues would be simpler for him to understand? You may want to teach your dog to respond to hand signals for a variety of valid reasons. When it's loud and they can't hear you, you might want to give your dog a command. Responding to hand signals is a must if you want your dog to compete in the competitive sport of obedience. Don't forget that many dogs lose their hearing as they get older and may struggle to hear your voice commands. Deaf dogs are visibly unable to respond to voice commands. Why do dogs need hand signals? The most obvious explanation for why visual cues are so effective is that dogs are good readers of body language because they are skilled communicators themselves. Dogs generally respond more consistently to visual signals than verbal cues as a result, and vice versa. In one study, a group of dogs that were taught common cues using both auditory and visual cues were examined. Hand-only cues have been shown to be up to 99% reliable, while verbal cues are only 82% reliable. Hand signals are effective in a busy setting. In the presence of these types of distractions, it is easier for a dog to focus on their handler's body posture. When they are away from you, it may be easier for your dog to read gestures. And you can still talk to your dog even if they lose their hearing as they get older. When given by multiple people, hand signals are easier for dogs to interpret. How to make sure your dog learns hand signals. Your pet needs to become familiar with hand gestures and voice commands. The best way for training your dog. To teach your dog hand signals, follow these guidelines and tips. 1. Since you will need the children to focus on you and keep their eyes on you for the entire session, start teaching hand signals in an environment free of distractions. 2. To keep training sessions focused, choose one behavior at a time to introduce the hand signal for. 3. After making eye contact with your dog, repeat the verbal cue and hand signal several times for the desired behavior. 4. Use hand signals only. Stop using the voice cue. This can be difficult, and you may need to go back and review previous actions. 5. Once your dog has learned the hand signal, trigger the behavior several times using a combination of verbal and hand signals, but not both at the same time. 6. Once your dog learns this, gradually add more distractions until your dog can perform this maneuver in a busy and noisy environment. 7. Keep your hand signal straight, and reward good behavior. What common hand signals are used for dogs? Here are some techniques for training your dog in basic obedience cues using hand signals. Number 1. Watch me. This cue can also be used to mean watch me or look. You are training the dog to pay attention to you or stare at you. Your index finger should be pointing towards the outer corner of your eye. If you choose a side, stick to it. You can use either your right or left hand and eye. This will make it easier for your dog to understand the relationship between your physical movements and the commands you give. Mark the moment your dog looks at you, then reward him with a tasty treat. Number 2. Release. This frees your dog from any restraints they may be under. Start by placing your palms in front of you, right to left. To signal to your dog that it's all over, move your right hand to the right and your left hand to the left in a sweeping motion. You may need to coax your dog out of his current posture as he learns what this means. Number 3. Sit down. Start with your arm in a natural position and sweep it up over your dog's head with your palm up. Your dog's head will automatically raise as it tracks your movements, which will cause many dogs to sit naturally. If you want to entice your dog to do this behavior, keep the treat in your hand and cover it with your thumb to prevent it from becoming part of the visual cue. Only after a few successful trials, remove the food. Number 4. Down. The down sign is almost the exact opposite of the sit sign. Sweep your hand down, almost to your dog's paw, with your hand against your dog's nose with the palm facing down. Consider bringing your dog down by running the thread from your fingers to his nose. If your dog is not familiar with down, hide a reward under your palm and gradually put it in position. If you want to help your dog by getting him to lie down, This hand command is really useful. You give this order while holding the treat in your hand and indicating with your finger. Keep your finger horizontally positioned on your chest while slowly flicking it down. This will let the dog know that you want him to fall to the ground. This hand gesture can also be used in conjunction with the dog command. Finger point down is another common term for this instruction. Number 5. Stand up. Remember the string that runs from your dog's nose to your toes. Extend your hand, palm out toward his face. By moving it a few inches away, your dog will have to get up from where they are if they decide to follow it. Mark and reward your dog as soon as he stands up and is still on all fours. Number 6. Stay. The physical signal for staying is to raise your hand to your dog's face without actually touching him, then quickly pull it back and relax him. Consider the gestures you would use to ask someone to stop. This nonverbal command teaches your dogs to stay, making them more useful for keeping them safe. If you take your dog along the crowded streets for regular shopping, the importance of this dog command increases many times. Raise your hand while maintaining palm contact to demonstrate this hand signal. Your palm should be pointing down toward your dog while facing away from your chest. Every time your dog follows your hand signal, reward them with a goodie. This exercise can use both hand signals and auditory commands. Number 7. Come on. The most important cue your dog must learn comes when called. You should teach both a vocal cue and a visual cue. Sweep your open hand out to your side in a diagonal motion until it is on the other side's shoulder. Celebrate with treats and praise when your dog approaches you. You can also call your animal friend by making a hand signal. With your palm facing forward, extend your open hand to your side to initiate the dog command. After that, move it diagonally towards your opposite shoulder. Number 8. Target. Initially, a target is always pointed as a hand gesture. When your dog sniffs your hand after you extend your hand, mark and reward them. Your open hand will act as a hand signal. What is its purpose to teach it? It can replace the come cue. However, you can also use the target to place your dog, for example, on the scale at the vet's office. Or, you can use the hand target to encourage them to give greetings. When first starting to teach your dog hand signals, it can be fun to use. Number 9. Fetch. Because your dog can stay while you throw an object and then let them go on cue to retrieve it, fetch is a great cue to help your dog focus. Point your finger forward towards your object while keeping your hand at your side to signal retrieval. Number 10. Quiet. The hand signal for silence is probably not a surprise. This is a body language clue that anyone can read. Put your nose in front of your index finger. With your dog nearby and small distractions, practice using this hand gesture. Make the physical sign, and when your dog is quiet, even for a moment, mark and reward him. Bunos. Roll over. Another hand gesture that closely mirrors what you want your dog to do is roll over. To instruct your dog in the direction you want him to go, extend your arm out in front of you while pointing your hand in the direction. Heels. The dog is informed of his starting position by a hand-on-heel signal. Your left hip is tapped. You will mark and reward your dog when it investigates that side. This dog command is designed to entice your canine companion to walk with you. If your dog gets lost during a walk, you can use this body language to get them back to the appropriate position. The dog usually walks to the left of the owner. You must convince someone to turn from right to left even if they are approaching from the front. You can do this by lightly tapping your palm on your hip to signal your dog. A circular motion around your hips can also be used to direct the dog in the direction you want. If you love this video, hit the like button, and sharing is loving, so share this video. If you're interested, extra dog training resources is in the description below. Dogs seem to respond well to body signals because they tune into human body positions. Your canine companion will look to you for visual direction using hand signals in just a few short steps. Make sure you are exercising in a distraction-free environment before starting these exercises. Use the positive reinforcement method and give your dog your undivided attention. You will soon have a new channel of communication with your dog. During the training process, it is very important to continuously use verbal praise and incentives to positively encourage your dog's behavior. And your pet will love using our primal treat as a training aid and reward. Remember to practice patience and enjoy the process, so you already know which type of communication with your dog is most effective. If you love this content, make sure you subscribe to this channel and see you in the next one.